This is an international prostar. It's a specific 2010 model. It's very common to see these trucks on the road. But today I'm going to show something different about this truck. As you know, the International prostar is a very common truck. It's a very popular truck on the road. Many people prefer this kind of trucks because they're cheap compared to the rivals, especially used. You can get one of these cheaper than a Cascadia, cheaper than KW, and cheaper than others, and with less mileage and newer year. But today I'm gonna tell you something about this International. As I said before, this is a 2010 International prostar. It says here prostar premium. That's right, it has a different type of paint job. It is not like the other types of prostars you see on the road. Overall, everything is the same, but everything looks similar. You don't see any difference between one prostar and another. But what I'm talking about is the suspension. As you can see, this crazy suspension that this prostar has. It doesn't have leaf springs. It has an airbag in the front with torque arms and sway bars and any type of bars that are doing the job as leaf springs. As you can see, you have 1, 2, 3 bars, and there is one on the back over here that holds the side-to-side frame, and there is another one that is very hard to see about that one. So it is a completely crazy system than this prostar has. This is a Henriksen suspension than this truck has. It is not only in the front, it is too in the back. As you can see, these are the torque arms on this prostar. This is completely massive. This is a big torque arm. I don't know why they decided to put this kind of stuff. We have the airbags right here, and the other one is in the opposite side. You see that one's in the back and this one is the front, and we have one center hanger over here that holds both of the axles with torque arms, with some bars, control arms in this case, you see. And this is all that connects the truck. This bar, this control arm, there is nothing else, just that. So the two axles are hold for one hanger over here with 2 arms, which looks very risky, but that's the way they design. It's a very strong design because they can this specific truck holds flatbeds, and they usually hold heavy stuff. It's a strong design. I don't say that it's a bad design, but it's one of the crappiest design in a way that it's a very expensive to fix. This truck is so expensive to fix. Those bars are very expensive. Those control arms are very expensive. I mean the torque arms, and you see I got the suspension bar over. I mean suspension leveling bar over there. Everything is in a way then it is not common to see. You see the brake chamber. Where is it? It is in a position where it's kind of odd. As you can see it, the shock absorbers. Both of the shock absorbers are in the opposite sides. In the front is crazy. So you as a driver, you won't see any of that. As an owner operator, you will see, because it's gonna be expensive to fix everything. But as a mechanic, you're gonna suffer a lot. Why? Because just doing a simple oil change is very hard to do. I wanna show you why. Because you see, here is the oil filter. That's the oil filter right there, and you see you have no space at all. You see the oil filter right there. How are you gonna get it out? There is a very limited space to get the oil filter. I have to do oil change of this one, and the way to do the oil, to remove that oil filter from there is you have to drop it just a little, and then switch to a vertical position to pull it all the way to the back. And then when you got it on the back, you have to drop it to the horizontal position and then get it out. So you're gonna make a lot of mess with the oil and stuff, and you have to make sure that the airbag is up. If the airbag is down, forget it. You won't be able to do that. If you remove already the filter, you're screwed, because you won't be able to do that. So you will have to jack the car, the truck up, and it will take a lot of time just to do one oil change. So this is one of the crappiest design of suspension. I don't know international. I don't understand why international decided to do this kind of suspension. But don't get me wrong, I don't say that all of the internationals are crappy. I just say that this specific truck with this type of suspension is one of the crappy suspensions that I have ever seen. I think they wanted to bring back the suspension from the KW. I don't know if you guys remember the suspension from the KW, the T600, T2000 back in the days. They have two airbags, one on the rear area of the axle and one on the front. It got four airbags per axle, 8 in total. It was a very strong suspension, very stable truck. It was very smooth truck and everything. It was expensive to fix too, but it was a very good design. It was very good engineered. In this case, this one is just like ridiculous in some way, because can you imagine if you have to do a work right there? You as a mechanic or you as a owner operator, you will say, oh, I want to repair it, I want to replace the torque arm. How are you going to replace it? You won't be able to replace it just like that. You see those bolts over there, they're completely rusted. You need to have a torch and everything. So I don't understand why they decide to do that. So well, I mean, the truck it is not much difference between a regular prostar versus this prostar. There is not much difference between trucks. It is just the suspension mostly. But everybody is kind of afraid about the prostars. But knowing that you have this kind of suspensions, I will suggest you to stay away from the prostar that have this specific suspension. If you have the regular suspension prostar with the regular leaf springs, just like Freilanders like this, regular leaf springs, one airbag on the back, and completely conventional stuff, it will be okay. But if you have this one, or you're planning to buy this truck, stay away from it, because it will cost you a lot of money to fix, and it won't be easy to work on them. And you know, when it's not easy to work on them, mechanics, they won't charge you cheap, they will charge you high. And you as a mechanic, I know for sure that you won't like to work on these kind of trucks because they're funny to work. So that's all I wanted to say about this stupid design of suspension on this prostar. As I said before, if you want to buy this truck, prostar, make sure that you don't have this suspension, because one of the things that I've been seeing very common on this suspension is that this bar over here was bad very soon. It cracks from random areas, and it hits over here too. It goes close to this ball over here and starts chafing and start having damage, and so many other kind of issues than this suspension had in the front. So as you can see, this truck won't be very smooth. It will be kind of like unstable when you drive in, especially when you have a kind of issue in the front. You want to have things like moving to the sides when you are going to high speeds. Well, this is all I wanted to say then. It was just a regular review. It's mostly to let you know, then don't buy this kind of trucks, because you will have hard time doing maintenance on these trucks, and if you have to do the engine, for example, you have to remove the whole thing right there, the whole bridge, then connects the bar, then goes on the rear area right here, because the oil paint is just right there. You see, it is like barely touching the complete frame, then goes around. And another thing too, the starter is right here in between the frame and there, so it's really hard to see, but it's just right there. So can you imagine how hard it's going to be to replace that starter? It's going to be really hard, and it's gonna be very expensive, so don't expect to have like $200 bill of labor when you have to replace the starter on these kind of trucks. Okay, so this is all I'm going to show you about this crappiest design of suspension on this international. Don't get me wrong, I am not saying the Henry Sock suspension is bad. I am saying that this kind of suspension is bad, because Henry Sock suspension do many different kinds of suspension. But this one, it didn't work well. That's all. I mean, they didn't do it well. Maybe they could re-engineer it and do something better, but they didn't do it well. So maybe they do it too fast, and that was the reason why they had this. So if you're looking for a used truck and it has this kind of suspension, forget it, don't buy it, because it's gonna cost you a lot of money later. It's just my advice. Well, if you have any questions, any recommendations, any suggestion, anything to add to this video, you can use the comment section below to add anything about this review thing I just did, and maybe you can help other subscribers about this kind of trucks. And yes, I'm gonna continue doing reviews about what's good and what's bad about trucks. This is my first video I'm doing about specific data review of a truck and what's the common problem of it. So I wanna keep doing videos like that, so you keep updating what trucks are good, what trucks are bad. So you do a good purchase if you're planning to buy next truck, or if you are a first-time buyer. If you want to send some support or donation to my channel, you can check the video description below for details how to send support to my channel, so I can continue making helping videos like the one I'm just doing right now for everybody, so they can actually buy stuff with confidence and they know they are doing well the way they're supposed to do, because nobody wants to make a failure when you are spending money or something. So like, share, subscribe, and thank you for watching.